This is super cool. So I thought I'd share it before I get started here. So, as a kid growing up, my dad always had these construction pencils, carpenter pencils, right? Always had them all over his shop, and the way we would sharpen them would be to grab an X-Acto knife or a razor blade of any kind and sharpen them up. But I had one of the viewers send me basically a care package, and in that care package of stuff was this pencil sharpener, and I thought, how's this going to work? Right? The pencil fits in there. How does it turn? Well, this is actually on a swivel, and I don't have to use a knife anymore to get a nice sharp edge on this pencil. Pretty darn cool. It actually does a pretty awesome job of sharpening. Let me get this sharpened up, and then I'm going to mark out the location of, we'll just call them the studs, the floor joists. I'm going to build this on here like it's a wall. And like I said, we're going to do 4 sections. Each section is going to be 12 foot by 10 foot, so that when we're done, it's going to be 20 feet by 24 feet. And it'll be doubled up on the seams because there'll be a top and a bottom on that. And I'll show you how to measure this out because I'm not a genius. So when I went to calculate how many studs I needed, oh, that's awesome. That is perfect. When I went to calculate how many studs I needed to build these floor joists, what I did was I just went online and found via a Google search a way to basically it was a stud calculator for framing walls, because that's basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to frame 4 wall sections here, and it was a really good one because when I got to the bottom, it showed me where my measurements should be if it was going to be 16 inches on center. So I just downloaded that picture. I screenshot that picture and saved it. And it's on my phone so that I know exactly where my measurements have to be, starting at 0 all the way down the board for each one of the studs. So we're going to mark these. First we're going to crown them, then we're going to mark them and get started on this. So I just marked those off because a 12-foot board is actually about 12 feet and about a half an inch on the end, so I'll have to trim that out. Matter of fact, while I'm here, so what is crowning on a board and why do you have to worry about it? So if you're crowning a wall on the ground, excuse the sunglasses, it's just the sun's right there. So if you're framing a wall on the ground, or you're framing a wall on the top of the subfloor here, the crown is the bow in the wood in this direction, right? So you always want that crown up. And the reason for that is if the crowns are down when you're building that wall, or in this case we're going to build that section of subfloor, it's going to want to wobble. Not only that, but with the crowns up on a subfloor, as you add weight to the building, the wood will actually give away a bit and settle itself out, get itself nice and smooth when it's done, nice and even. Whereas if you had the crown down, you would have on your straight floor like this, you could have it curve in certain areas. So for me, it's always hard to tell when I'm looking at a board for a crown because I'm not going to lie to you, my eyes are not what they used to be. but I just look down the board and see if I've got any crown, and it looks like this side has a crown on it. Okay, so just so I know what it is, I'm just going to go and call that, you know, mark that so that I know where it's at. It'll become more important when I'm doing the other boards. Okay, now if I want my crown up, right, my board has to be, because I drew my arrow saying this is my crown, this board has to be up and this board has to be up. And then, and I probably should have done that a little differently. I need to get my 12 feet again. Let's get rid of that. I watch a YouTube channel called houseimprovements.com, and Shannon is the channel owner. He's a Canadian carpenter, and he's just an awesome guy. And when I saw him frame an inside wall, that's where I first got the idea that I needed to watch more videos on framing. But he explained this a lot easier to somebody like me, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do here, right? I measured these out. I know that these are both crown up right now, and that my beams are going to go between these two boards, right? They're going to be in the middle here. So to make it nice and easy on myself, I'm going to measure everything off on both boards at the same time. And I need to get my center, which is 16 inches. And like I said, I downloaded off of that app. There it is. And I don't know if you can see this, so what I'll do is I'll save this picture and I'll show it to you right here. But it tells you that at 0, and just for sake of ease, I'm going to make 0 down there instead of on the end that I'm going to cut off. So at 0, my first line where my beam will start will be 15 1/4 inches. And the reason for that is because if I put that beam right at 15, the edge of that at 15 1/4 inches, the middle of that beam will land exactly on 16 inches. So this is 15 1/4, 31 1/4, 47 1/4, 63 1/4, 79 1/4, 95 1/4, 111 1/4, 127 1/4, and 142 1/2. And that is because that will be the outside board, the very last board. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this out and mark these off right now. And it'll make it a whole lot easier than trying to nail a stud in the middle of a line if all I have to do is line that stud up with the outside or with the edge of the line, right? It should be super easy for anybody to do it that way. So let me go ahead and get these started. And the first one is 15 1/4. The first one's actually 0, right? So it'll be right on the outside edge. And then the next one is going to be 15 1/4. Right? And the stud is, I'm going to put an X on the inside because that's where the stud's going to be. And then 31 1/4. And again, I'm going to put a little X on the side where the stud's going to go. I'm doing all my marks on the outside board right now. 47 1/4. All right, and that gives me 16 inches on center. So it needs to be 10 feet in width, right? Because these are going to go long ways this way. So it's a, wait a minute, yeah. So it's going to be 12 feet twice by 10 feet twice. So I need to calculate exactly 10 feet, because if I don't do that, what I'm going to end up with is something that's bigger than my actual floor plan. So we already know that each one of these is 1.5 inches, right? So I need 3 inches. I need to trim my boards to, instead of 10 feet, which is what these all are, that whole pallet, it needs to be 9 feet 9 inches, because they're going to go inside of this. And then 9 feet 9 inches plus 3 inches would be 10 feet. By 12 feet would be one section of the flooring. So I'm actually going to fire up the chop saw today, and I've never used it before, but I want to get my boards all measured out first before I start doing that, and then we'll be good to go. So I know these two are right. I need to do one more thing, I think. Oh yeah, I need to transfer these lines here to the inside here, so that, where did I just put that? In my pocket? Or is it stuck in my head somewhere? It's probably stuck in my head somewhere. So that they're in here, so that I can see them when I line them up. Oh, there it is. Bingo! Every time I lost a nail, it was because I was trying to drive through a knot. That's all on me. Yeah, let's get this thing relatively in place. This end has to run this way. That's okay because it's trying to run here. Okay, so all right, that's one. I need to do that 3 more times. So I think you can probably get the idea of what's going on. I'll build another one exactly the same size as this. I'll place it right there. I'll build another one exactly the same size as this. I'll place it there, and then I'll place it there. Right now we're 10 feet wide. With the next one, we'll be 20 feet wide. With the next one, we're 12 feet long. With the next one, we'll be 24 feet long. And then everything gets framed on top of that once I get everything square. So I'll get all 4 of them done. I'll get them all together and I'll square them all up. I should take a peek right now and see if they're square, see how they look. They gotta be pretty close. Oh, 189.5 this way. $185.25 here, so I got some tweaking to do, but I can tweak these pieces and get them squared up pretty easily because they're not that big. For that though, I'll probably have somebody come over and give me a hand. I guess I could tack it down, but first part of the subfloor complete. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thanks for clicking the thumbs up. And especially thanks for leaving a comment. I love the comments. I'd love to hear where you're from and how stupid you think I am. All right, have a great day. I'm going to clean some stuff up here, get the sock covered up. I'm not going to do another one today because I'm going fishing tomorrow. The sockeye salmon have had about 250,000 fish hit the river in the last 3 days. So Sean needs some salmon for the freezer. I'm going to go out with some viewers and do what they call dip net fishing from a boat. And I'm allowed 25 for my limit for dip netting. So I'm going to try and get all 25 of those salmon tomorrow. You guys have a great day. I'm Sean in Alaska. See ya. I almost forgot. Remember all the measurements that I went through and all the hassle that I did to line everything up? Let me show you why. On center, 16 inches, right down the middle. Why does that even matter? Because plywood is 48 inches by 72 inches, and both of those numbers are divisible by 16, which means when you get to a seam, it ends up right in the middle of the board, and when you nail it off, you always nail off on a board, which is awesome. So that's it for me. You guys have a great day. I just got the word that it looks like we're going fishing tomorrow, or in the wind, so it's gonna be fun.